Hello and welcome to this edition of EMS Now Up Close. I am Eric Miskell with EMS Now, and today it's my pleasure to speak on camera for the first time, I should say, with Shahela Ali. Shahela is the Director of Global Marketing with IDENTCO. Shahela, thank you for taking some time to come and speak to me today.
My pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
Certainly. Let's begin by introducing yourself and give a brief overview of IDENTCO for the benefit of the audience.
Yeah, absolutely. So IDENCO is a labeling company, very heavily focused in the electronics market. We provide an end-to-end solution when it comes to identification of electronic products. So it's not just the labeling, it's how the label is printed. We have expertise on how the label will be applied, the full solution. So even how in terms of like the technical development of the specification of that label. So end to end.
Yeah, and it's beyond just the labeling too, because you also have the labelers themselves, the equipment, right? That you produce.
Yeah, we have the automation for label application. We have a variety of printers and then additional supporting equipment that just makes the entire process more efficient.
Excellent. Before we get in, I know that we have some news to talk about today with the new online store that you've just launched. But before I do, let me just ask kind of the industry at large, kind of what are the main trends currently that are impacting the labeling industry?
So, when it comes to the labeling industry, we are seeing very much we're responding to the demands of the PCB world, right?
Yeah.
Space on the boards is shrinking more and more. So, real estate becomes a very important factor.
Mm,
So smaller labels, labels that allow to capture more data. So whether you're printing a QR code that which then takes you to further, more detailed instructions, um, symbols, logos, all of that kind of specialty development that we don't think of, but it is very critical to the electronic space.
mm. Yeah. And yeah, and it strikes me too, in looking at your site before, I've been in a lot of factories. I've been in like the cabling facilities too. And just on each of those, all of the labels, and I know you guys support that as well, but that is it's so complex, and that's the piece nobody really thinks about either, right?
Yeah, when it comes to the self-laminating labels, right? The labels that really wrap around wires or cables or
Mhm.
harnesses. So important that the data that's printed on there is very legible, can be scanned by a variety of scanners.
Mhm.
Um, the label is placed precisely. Just things that we don't think about, but for the overall product, it carries a lot of value.
No, absolutely it does. Get those wrong. And I've seen those where people are, they put them on and then they need to figure out where it goes, right? So it's such a critical
Yeah.
application there. So,
And that's the thing, right? Like if it is misplaced, that label, the rework process and the costs related to reworking a label, right? You're potentially stopping a cable assembly that may be hundreds of dollars to ship
mhm.
out the door because it's going now through a rework process due to the labeling miss.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, I know, listen, the big news here coming out of Idenco recently is the new online store. So tell us about that and why customers should shop on the new online store.
So our web store was really designed based on the needs of our customers and the market, right? Lots of inquiries coming into Idenco about, hey, I just need one roll of a particular PCB label.
Yeah.
So our team has always been very responsive to the customer needs, and we want to jump in and do some development, but maybe customers are not ready, right? They're not ready to talk about that full project yet. They just want to buy one roll and see how it works out in their application. The web store is perfect for that. Somebody, an engineer, mechanical engineer at their desk just looking to see how a particular size will fit on their design. They can just order one roll. We offer a variety of PCB labels, plus where you have low volume, high mix. It's a
Mhm.
good place
Yeah.
to be able to get that offering. The online stores offers everything within the electronic space. So very heavy on PCBs and wire marking. And then the supporting ribbons that allow to print on those labels and the right type of printers that support that product. So it's like our stock offering, ideal for anybody that works in a label room,
Mhm.
anybody that is doing NPI type work, anybody that is looking for just that small volume and looking to get something quickly.
Yeah. And are they able to configure it and upload their information there? Or in some cases, if they need some assistance, is that available to them? How does that work?
Yeah, so what's beneficial about the web store is that we've looked across the industry and consolidated dimensions that are ideal for many applications. So there's thousands of part numbers available with the full technical drawing. So when you're looking at a particular part, you can, pull the full technical drawing and be able to put that in your package. And
Mm.
then in terms of any kind of customization or any additional help you need, there's a live chat feature. You can talk to somebody on our technical team who can provide a lot of good input.
Okay. And so is that the best way to contact is to reach out to customer services online, or is that the preferred method?
Yeah, so IDENTCO, one thing I will tell you is you can always get somebody on the phone, right?
Okay.
So there's customer service individuals available on the phone. In addition, the web store has a live chat feature, and you can talk to somebody real time, and
Mhm.
they'll be able to guide you through any kind of problem
Mhm.
you may be facing.
Mhm. Now you mentioned the kind of custom services. Are there any others that people should be aware of if they were to call in, or if they're on the site, they're trying to develop something? Are there other particular, I mean, I don't know if it has to do with colors, if
Yeah.
it has to do, I mean, what is it that gets customized there?
So sometimes, based on the application, you may need a custom shape, right? The label must be in
Mhm.
a particular shape. You may want some kind of a variable printing that might just be unique to your application. So those are all things that our technical team can help through the design process and be able to solve for some of those concerns. In addition, there may be a particular material that might not be offered on the web store, and we carry lots of material, different types to respond to various applications, whether that's for heat or cleaning chemistries. So the custom applications can really help there. And then there are individuals that just want to uh, look at the cost and
Mhm.
design and automation. So we have a variety of equipment that can essentially respond to moving away from hands-free labeling into auto apply.
Mhm. And that's, I was going to ask you about that. So thank you, because the idea of what the application is going to influence the chemistry of what's needed, right, for the label to stay affixed. And like you said, if it's being washed, if it's going through reflow as an example, right, it's one type of chemistry. So that is something that if it's not known to the particular person doing the ordering, they can very easily talk to somebody at IDENTCO and get the right solution.
Yeah, and we try to stay ahead of that. There are many partners in the cleaning space that we work with, so we test all of our materials up front. So if a customer has their particular cleaning chemistry part number and they share that with us, we would be able to tell them exactly what material will pass with that particular chemistry and be able to share a full test report.
Okay. Now, there are other types of technical services that you're offering. I mean, that's an excellent one right there, but is there other things that people should be aware of to help them select the right product?
Yeah, so we have a full materials team in both of our locations in Ingleside, Illinois, and in Monterrey, Mexico. So we have a materials team in both locations. And what our materials team, the service they provide is they start with your application. Like, so what is important to the customer? What are you trying to accomplish with the label, right? Our goal is to really focus on the needs of the customer and look through the lens of their reality.
Hmm.
And then, so that's where we start with before we get into our materials and what will pass and, what changes. And so we look at your full specification and what problem is the label solving for. And then based on that, we will back into thicknesses, adhesives, substrates, top coats, just to make sure that we are providing the right type of solution.
Hmm. That's interesting because it really is much more complicated than when you see it in the, oh, it's a label that goes on. There's so much behind that that needs to be considered in order to make it effective.
Correct.
Yeah, no. That now and back to the website then or the online store. So it's all your full suite of services and products are available through that. That includes the wire and cable ones, the PCB ones. I'm assuming also the printers and the scanners and everything.
Yes, so the printers are on there, the ribbons are on there, PCB labels, wire marking labels. So the web store is designed to keep the electronics industry in mind.
Okay.
So if you're somebody in the data center space, that's a
Mhm.
great place to start. If you're just somebody in the electronic component marking space, that's a great place to start because we have reviewed the needs of these markets and consolidated to parts or dimensions that would really satisfy the needs of that market.
Yeah. And I'm assuming that if it's a reorder for somebody, that even if it's in a volume purchase, it's easy enough to, it's probably a simpler way to do it. Just go online to the store and order it there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Everything is set up through the store. It's very easy. Um, right now, the store is also running a promotion, right, because it's new,
Saw
which is
that.
fantastic. So, just a very user friendly
Yeah.
way to purchase the right type of label. And like I said, we have that live support available as well. And the nice thing is once we kind of monitor the journey of our customers, right? And then we actively reach out to them to see um, if they could benefit from consolidating certain part numbers and so on.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I have it up on one of my screens here and I see the chat function there and I wish I needed labels because I love it. And I see the discount being offered right there as well. Which
That's
is
right.
excellent, right? It's all right there and simple and it shows it all beautifully up here. So, um, is there anything else that people should know about the new store that we haven't covered that you feel should be mentioned?
No, just want to reiterate the store is really meant to focus on the electronics industry, and then definitely just to make things a lot easier for anybody that's in a label room, process engineering, design engineering, and if you can't find what you're looking for, it's a quick, hey, give me a call on the live site, and you'll get somebody to
Yeah.
call, and we'll work through that concern together.
Yeah, I love hearing that because in the day of telephone automation, you get caught up in voicemail sometimes. It is just frustrating. And I've done that as a consumer, and you just hang up and give up sometimes. It gets so frustrating. So it's good to hear what you said earlier that you can always get somebody on the phone there at IDENTCO. So
Yes.
um, excellent. Well, Shella, thank you for taking time today to introduce this to us. I'm sure the audience appreciates knowing that, and I wish you success and continued success with the platform.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Take care. Bye bye.